So, Three Pandas is another pretty popular Flash game series that I, just like all the other Flash game series I covered on this channel, played the shit out of when I was like 7. The series consists of 5 games like Wake Up the Box. Unlike Wake Up the Box, the genre didn't change halfway through. I'll say this was the hardest and most indecisive I've ever been with a ranking video. All 5 of these games don't introduce anything new that sticks around. Sure, the levels have unique gimmicks, but other than that, the core gameplay is unaltered for the whole series. And because of this, besides the last place rank, all these games barely edge out each other. And before you accuse me of not playing them enough, here you go, I played this franchise a lot recently. They're even in the opening clip sequence thing. But without further ado, let's go. Here is every Three Pandas game ranked. Now, this game is commonly ranked as the best game in the franchise. I could not agree less. Fantasy sucks so much, how do you people like it? Oh my god! This game seriously needs tuning. It's so inconsistent with its difficulty. Not only that, it's also sometimes really unfair. Like, whenever you beat the ogre boss and the weird throwy thing appears, you can fall through it and have to restart the level. God, this game is just unfun, which I cannot say about the other 4. It does have like a couple nice moments. The ogre boss fight is pretty damn good, but it's just unfun for the majority of it, which is something I just cannot say about the other 4. Out of all games in the franchise, I have the strongest feelings towards this one, simply because everyone loves it and I just cannot. I hate it. It is a terrible send-off to the franchise and they should have ended it with Japan. Next! Now, from here on, every game is at least good to great, but unfortunately, this is a ranking video, so ties can't exist. So, some games just had to bite the bullet. Sorry, Three Pandas one. Three Pandas Night is pretty damn good. The level design is among the hardest in the franchise, but unlike the game that shall not be named, this one is really fun, unless you're speedrunning, then it's kind of a nightmare. From a casual standpoint, this is a really solid sequel to a really solid game. It improves on Three Pandas 1's formula by making the difficulty more consistent, take notes fantasy, and removing bullshitty stuff like Three Pandas 1's level 14. There's not much to say about Night, it's a good sequel for a good game. Next. Holy god, Japan is so good. This and number 1 are pretty much tied, except one barely edged it out. I'll get to that later. My god, Japan is such a unique step for the series. For the first time ever, we have a boss fight. 2 actually, and they're both really fun. We got a minigame at some point where an arcade machine grabs the big panda and chucks him into a little minigame. God, this game is just really creative. I've heard people say they hate this entry and believe it's the worst in the series, and no, it's so good. Man, the level where you gotta chuck sushi into some lights so they fall on some guys' heads, it's so good. Both boss fights are so good. The robot mall level is so good. This game just has so many great moments, it's so hard to not like it. Even if, you gotta admit, even if you don't like it, you have to admit it's among the best in the franchise. Well, this is number 1. Three Pandas in Brazil is basically just Japan, but slightly better. Mainly the level design is the thing that takes it home. Just like Japan, it has some generic levels like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and some standouts. There's level 8 with the boss that has so many different ways to beat it, it's insane. The actual first ever boss fight in the form of level 6, although this one pales in comparison to Japan's bosses since spamming takes me 2 seconds. The zoo level, the thief level specifically is a really cool idea for a level, although I will admit the catapult is pretty dumb sometimes. The sewer level is a cool idea, the carnival is a cool idea. This game is the exact same as Japan. It's filled with new ideas and unique, memorable levels, which makes for a really cool experience start to finish, which in consequence leads to the best 3 Pandas game that I absolutely adore. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.